They take the damage, which is nice. Now, I get the Sphinx back, because the other thing will die anyway. Now we can double activate Kaito. So we go to 2, and then we go to 4. And they have absolutely nothing. And our opponent will know what's up. Now they can play one thing a turn, and every turn they're getting smacked. And with this, lethal suddenly extremely changed. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today the full potential of Kaito Dancing Shadow will be showcased in the gameplay, and we also have a very cool synergy because with High Noon, Aven Interrupter and Kaito Dancing Shadow we can combine all of those cards to counter basically one spell a turn. That's all you need with High Noon, and then we can get back Aven Interrupter into our hand with Kaito passive. Also drawing cards, because why not? So the combo is absolutely amazing, but at the same time we can just play this as a regular Esper control, and it seems to be working. And with High Noon you win so many matchups on its own. You will see it. So guys, I think it will be super fun. And by the way, my favorite interaction after playing with this deck, alright, I will spoil a little bit. High Noon with Sphinx. This card is basically unkillable because they cannot cast any spell that kills it on the first step, and when they cast something else we just counter it or prevent it, and then they cannot target the Sphinx anymore. So man, this is absolutely deadly card, and you can get it back with Kaito before you start for Invocation for easy value. So yeah, let's go into the games, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with this one. Alright, this will be a bit rough. I think against this kind of deck we don't want Interrupter, because it's not card advantage. We need card advantage here. Sunken Citadel, it could be our blue mana, but it's also a land. You know what, we can always discard it against this deck. And having a counter spell is nice. Not having a counter spell is nice. Alright, the Bat of Absolute Doom strikes again, and it hurts exactly the same as always. A lot. What? Okay, that's the last card I expected. Man, oh man. I really want this Intimidation Campaign. Alright, I didn't expect to play like this, but come on, I need card advantage against this deck. So the faster we start, like, this is such a good fit. Disfigure is something I would love to have before. That would change so much. You see, we need those cards as soon as possible, and I probably... Oh man, is that the Citadel or Fountainport? It's Citadel, because on the next turn we can Disfigure. Oh, we don't have the right mana. No, we don't have enough mana. Alright. We'll make it work somehow. They don't know that we have Starfall Invocation, so I think we need to bank a little bit on it. So my idea was that I play Disfigure and replay the campaign, but I need double black mana for it. And this was a tap land, so even with this we wouldn't be able to make the play. 3 damage, it hurts, but we can take it. Let's see don't Hostile Investigator me. Oh my god, it's even worse. So we cannot counter it. Now the question. So I can Disfigure it. If they take Disfigure, we might miss on a land. Oh man, this is a hard choice. I need to think about it. So if I cast Disfigure, I get Intimidation Campaign, so either I play it. Yeah, I think it's still better. Just because of Intimidation Campaign. Because we don't know what our next turn is, so it's very hard to prepare for it. We don't know if we will have the 5th land, if it will be untapped, if we will have double blue, double white, well, I guess we have double white, but I wanted to make it so there's no risk I will actually fizzle on the next turn fully and not be able to make any play. They know about Starfall Invocation, so now they realize, oh no, he had it all along, and that seems to be the card that, hurts them the most so far. I think they want to craft. That means they have really extremely bad hand. Let's go for Demolition Field. Even though it's something that can trigger the campaign, we need blue mana way more. And that will unlock a lot of options for us. It also lowers our chance to draw a natural land. And we kinda want to draw it, so it has some small drawbacks, but the difference is extremely low. 3 damage a turn, huh? 3 damage a turn, so we could use 1 3 steps ahead to cycle the hand. They will try to drain us. I think I can take this damage, and that's probably the last time I can. So if they cast something meaningful, yep, they are checking us for the reaction. We cannot react here. If they cast something that has entered the battlefield effect, we counter it. If they do nothing, we cycle with 3 steps ahead. We have 2, so we can, you know, get rid of one of them. See? That was kinda important, wasn't it? That was kinda important. Yep, I definitely do not want Aklazot in my board, you know? Alright, this is interesting. So I could negate a lot of damage basically instantly. You know what? I really like Kaito. This is amazing. Even though we cannot solve the next problem, because we don't have counter spells, we can deny this, stack loyalty, and basically nullify their whole board. So if they don't have extremely good follow-up right now, and I think they might not have it, that was their big play, right? I think they cast Tiffing Blade, so they can craft with Artifact, so that means their value should be very low. Alright, another Aklazot, we'll work with it. Good for them, but we can fully disable it, you know? Well, Hainon, this is probably the worst moment to draw this, to be absolutely honest. So instead we need to start doing, man, we are fizzing for like third turn in a row. Alright. So we will have a moment, but we need to start doing stuff. This is amazing. Man, if I could play lands, that would be basically game over for our opponent. But I'm stuck at 4. Our opponent is at 6 already, with probably way lower value deck than we are. However, we can go for Invocation, so we should have enough time. We just need to draw a land. And worst case, we can also zero the Kaito. Yep, here it is. And that's why it was important to not go super low on the lives total. They really want to get rid of Kaito because it disables Aklazot fully. Really? That's a very interesting play. Can I please draw my thing? Now we have Whale, you know? Oh boy, this is such a hard choice. So if we zero Kaito and draw a card that isn't an untapped land, we get insanely behind. So that means we need to go for the Whale probably.
Too slow.
Man, this is so awkward. My whole game plan is just trying to fight against not hitting my lands. 4 lands in 17 cards is actually insane. So they will go for the Nightmare, deal more damage. This is not something we'll have to see, to be absolutely honest, but because we are so constrained on mana, we cannot really make any plays. I guess we have the Anchorage, you know? You know what? The Anchorage is amazing. Sure, they do this, but it doesn't super matter. What do I discard? I think it has to be Kaito. Which really tells them the story that we can protect this one. But I guess they see the Anchorage, right? They cannot attack into this. Bro, I said they cannot attack into this. Just make sure. Yep, they don't have any place. 0 cards. I mean, that's really good for us. Even though the drain is brutal, but we have this Intimidation Campaign. The problem is that we cannot cast anything. Oh my god, can I please cast my spells and fix my stuff? Alright, the 5th one. That helps, right? That helps. Alright, so we are going with the Starfall Invocation. We destroy everything. I mean, destroying everything is always a good start. And even though the Aklazot is still here, and we only have 1 Kaito in the whole deck, I think we go for this one. I love cards, but we need to make this extra life gain if possible.
Let's see you deal with
Is when it leaves the battlefield, because it's designed in a way that supports the Kaito. So they need a good draw, but whatever card they draw, it will be always 1 card, and it doesn't seem that they're getting it. Sure, that won't kill us, so even if they top deck it, we are at 1. Yep. And Aklazot is basically the man. I'm so happy. Like, we're playing it perfectly, I think. So let's go like this. You don't like it. And all of this was hard because Shuffler didn't give us the 5th land. That was pretty much everything. Now we have counter spells open as well, so we attack our opponent with this. Yep. And now you will see how powerful Kaito Dancing Shadow really can be. we return it, it leaves the battlefield, life gains, makes a huge difference, and we can go again. Let's go for draw a card. On the next turn we will plus, and then we can do it again if we really want to. I need to make sure that I have... Okay, so we will go for the whale, right? If they do nothing. If they do something, we counter it. Yeah, this should be really good for us. So their draws are amplified since 2 turns, because normally they wouldn't get they basically get selection out of 3 top cards every turn. So their last 2 turns were extremely strong for, you know, the usual situation, but still, whatever they draw, it will always be 1 card, and we always have 1 counter spell. They cannot attack with Aklazot because of Kaito. Alright, and now, I think we go with the whale, right? That puts the clock on them. Even though they have good answers, so for example, where were you? This one is perfect answer, it goes around the world. However, this is 4-turn Leafa.
I can run circles around you.
Yep, you are running circles, Kaito. The only problem is that I don't have mana. Man, I have so many mana issues here.
You this time.
We decline respectfully. I could make the token again. You know what? I really like this play. This is not what I expected, but I have exactly loyalty to do it, and this gives us so much more time. So I want to play Intimidation Campaign to counterspell, but I don't have the mana. So that means we probably will make a treasure token if we can advance step. And I need to make those tokens because of the consuming sepulture. Because it gives him a little bit more burn than he should have at this point. Now we go this, not for the extra mana, but we need the blue mana in case of, you know, our opponent having the perfect answer. So now we draw it normally. Sure, why not? And you can see how much, you know, the Kaito makes a difference here. Basically, Kaito carried the whole game right now. Alright, let's attack. Another damage. Now we take it back, we live game. Man, Kaito healed us for 4 already. And I can +1, but I think we just draw a card, because we need 1+1 per turn. And getting extra cards is so good here. We can pain ourselves in the worst case. And now we are starting to get into the game we should be from the start. And yeah, that should be nice. I'm not casting or playing High Noon, just because we actually have such a card advantage that we might be the one that multi-spells. And see, every time highlight Kaito, and they're like, well, I cannot beat it. And they are right. You know what? Alright, you know what? He knows the drill. Let's go for a hello. This is the first hello ever. So, the next turn is the Forge, right? Alright, so they are not playing aggro. I love this interaction. Like, there was so much happening here. Oh, this is unfortunate. I kinda really hoped for a 3-drop. But it's okay. It's okay. Let's go with the River. On the next turn we can go for a campaign into Get Lost, potentially. Yeah, we really will go with the Interrupter, I think. Here's the talent. And when they finally play it again, we can kill it with Get Lost very easy. Yeah, I like it. This really gives us so much tempo in this game. And they don't have any lands, so we can play like this for now. And you know, we can start getting our card advantage, because we definitely need it. Sphinx can be extremely good. So let's start the damage. You can see that we are a control deck, but look how much damage we did already. 3. Alright, turn 5, 3 damage. This is impressive. This is how Magic is supposed to look like. You know, not turn 3, 21 damage. Or something crazy like this. I really hope the Mono Red will get less power in future, because it's just making format worse for everyone, in my opinion. Like, I think most aggro players like Mono Red because it skyrockets their rank. So when you are a new player, or you know, you don't really know how to play the game very well, when you go from bronze to suddenly mythic, it feels like, wow, it's so good, right? But in reality, if they learned a normal deck, like even this one, and they took the time to actually, you know, learn the whole interactions, see how the decks play, I think they would love the game way more than. Alright, I have enough, right? So we go High Noon into Sphinx. And our opponent will know what's up. Now they can play one thing a turn, and every turn they're getting smacked with Aven Interrupter. The whole point is that I want to play Stoic Sphinx after they play a spell. They think the clock is slow. The clock is in reality extremely quick, and we can even go with the well on top of it. So they are in defending mode, and they don't even know it. Forge. Great. They can use the map tokens though. So let's not show our place just yet. And yes, I could block with the Sphinx, I'm not doing it. I want to surprise them so they cannot be prepared in any way. And with this, lethal suddenly extremely changed. Extremely changed. So first we attack with both of those. Don't forget we can play the well as well. We also have the Anchorage. They can play one spell and they realize that, well, this is a little bit much on this part of the game. And that's why we didn't cast a spell so Sphinx can hit. The life gain that they got is still very nice for them. Very nice. So we are going with... Well, they have Fountainport, but it's too slow, right? It's too slow, so I don't think we need to care about it too much. Did I really pay myself? Sure. Another Hainon. Alright. Now we have Hexproof on the Sphinx. When we cast the well we won't, but let's see if they do something main phase, in which case we know that nothing else is happening. I would love to get... Really? Really? That's how you are playing, bro? Alright, I think he deserved this one. Are you actually serious, bro? Oh boy. Well, this is one card that answers what we have. Alright, this guy is a bro. This guy is a bro. I'm not sure if we go for Demolition Field. Let's see. Let's see. They got the card, good for them. Definitely helpful. I think we go for Demolition Field here. We also can get natural blue mana, right? Or a natural blue mana. So let's get rid of this. This is also one of the ways they can go for the Caretaker's talent. And that means that Intimidation Campaign heals us a little bit, but we definitely wanted a little bit more value here. Yep, we need to be quick because we don't have too much time. I think we go with the whale and start trying to raise them, basically. And I need 6 mana for it. Alright, alright. Yeah, I think we need to go for the whale. I cannot play both parts of the whale, because that's 8 mana, and of course Hainon wouldn't prevent it, but we could try to find ways around it, but we just don't have enough. So I could main phase, but that means this is at 3 toughness, so it dies to every lightning helix, so I don't think it's a great idea. 3, 4 and 5, so we will even survive those, but helix can, you know, get our burn range a little bit lower. No, they want to draw more. This is interesting. They cannot get a non-land card with this. Well, Forge is pretty good. They definitely want it. Well, that's a draw. This is a good one. This really helps them. That amplifies lethal, so after they play it, it's like 1 or 2 turns and we cannot defend against it. Against 1, we could try to, you know, make some shenanigans. So this will be harsh. Not the Hainon. Like, I love the card, but not here. Not here. We can go with the Anchorage, but I don't think it's great. I think we want to play this live gain a little bit and see. And the draws are not great. I'll be honest, the draws are not great. Alright. They need to kill the whale. Right? I think I can survive this turn, but they will play some tokens, so we probably will need removal. I don't think the whale will hit. Like the cake, you know, this kind of stuff probably will be played at some point. Alright. Yeah, this seems like a cake. Not piece of cake, just a cake. Oh right, they are getting it automatically. And they will make a token out of this, right? They will level it up. However, if we draw removal, we'll win the game. But are we good enough? I'm not sure. I'll take this damage. Don't forget, every turn it's stronger. Yep, they're going for... so... Yep. That means they probably don't have a way to remove the whale. So if we kill this, if we draw Get Lost, we win the game. We just need to do it. And I think we need to do it main phase. Aven Interrupter is interesting one. I want to play Intimidation Campaign anyway. So they were nice so far, so I'll give him good game. I think they mean that they lost, because they seem to be a cool person, but I'm not sure, we'll see. And now we have to go with a campaign, right? We have double white. Let's try. Sure, why not? We could go for the red mana. That means we win the game if we can survive one turn, because we will sacrifice High Noon and kill them. That's the play. But I'm not sure, man. Will it work? We're pretty low. But they can only cast one spell, right? So it's, if they forge, it's 6 damage. Not enough. But they can Helix us on our turn. In which case we can interrupt it, take damage from the one pain... No, we have 2 pain lands. No, 1 pain land. So we can actually do it. So they can attack, wait for Helix at the upkeep, then we interrupt, then Whale hits them and kills them. I think we won this game. Yeah, I think that's what they meant by good game. I think they don't have answers to this, and they cannot make another token, because they can only level it up once, right? So they cannot make the same trick from before. And I think they are trying to find a way for a lethal, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have Lightning Helix in the hand right now. Oh boy, the word makes all the difference. No way. No way. Man, this was so close for them. However, we came prepared. We came prepared. No, my friend. And we target, we crime, we get all the good stuff. Man, this was a true game of Magic. I appreciate it, man. It was really fun. Like, if you are watching the video, like, say hi in the comments. Alright, that was so close. Honestly, it could go either way. It was just about those last, clutch plays. Alright, we are against lizards, so that will be an interesting one. They are on the play, so that extremely favors them, so they will probably win. If we're on the play, I think we would win, so this will be probably one of the games that will be decided by who is on the play. That's my estimation, because they have so little gas that the only thing they have is insane tempo that they will get by, going full damage this way. They already dealt 4 damage on turn 2 with 1 drop, so you get the idea that it's on the rough side here. I think we want 1 white here, because we want to go for the throat. Probably the next play will be island, and then double blue, and we need the second white before turn 4. This is probably our win con. Yeah, this would be rough. They didn't play a land, right? Yep. This is passive, right? So it doesn't have to be this one attacking. I think we go for the Pine Lasher here. Maybe it was better to get rid of one of the hired claws, but I think it's the same damage, right? We basically negated one, and they will draw lands in the future turns. I think it's honestly a little bit better. Do I want to pain myself and get the white mana? I cannot play a tap land on this turn. Alright, so we are going with the only play that we can make. So we need to carve out with 3 steps ahead Sphinx into Invocation, which will win the game. And because our opponent is on the play, it might be too slow by 1 turn. And because they are dealing 4 damage with 2 1-drops, which is the norm. Well, 1 mana 2/2s with upside is just norm, right? So if we get rid of this, we break the chain, because normally they have multiple cards like this. So I'm not sure if they do have it. Alright, they have a land in the hand, which they decided to not play before. Well, just, man, some nice plays, right? So this is great. They have probably 1 land in the hand, and it was highlighted, and they decided to not play Cavern of Souls against Esper control. This is the type of aggro players we are creating with cards that are so strong. Alright, so let's go for this one. High Noon would be amazing at every point of this game, except now. Because this is the turn when we need to go for the Sphinx. We need to try to ambush one of them and start to lower the damage. If would damage to a permanent, of course that everything is pumped. Extra damage on every turn. And now we need to go with the Sphinx. So we can start to mitigate it, but it will be very hard because everything is doubled. Because why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? So we cannot make the play here. We definitely have to play this on white. And now the question. We could go for High Noon. I don't think it's super good. Maybe we just play Kaito and minus to it. I think this is the play. Because that gives us the token. And the token is super cool.
Minions, but I have friends.
I could attack and basically negate this one. I don't think it's worth it. I think it's better to have two blockers. It's this card that has to attack. Alright, I mean, that's okay for me. So let's attack here. They take the damage, which is nice. Now, I get the Sphinx back because the other thing will die anyway. Now we can double activate Kaito. And we Starfall, and we get the value. We destroy all creatures. So we go to 2, and then we go to 4. And they have absolutely nothing. And maybe even by being on the draw, we still had good enough deck that we win anyway. They want the loyalty. I mean, the live game seems extremely important in this situation, so I will actually try to go for...
circles around you.
And I could go for the drone already. But I don't think it's worth it. I think it's okay to just play like this.
Too slow.
Alright, what is the mana color? We need 1 black. We could go for the red for High Noon, but I don't think it's great. Let's go for red for High Noon. I think I have everything else, you know? So this might be good enough. Alright, so we play this. We make a drone, which means that we live gain even more. And I think with this we won the game, honestly. Let's go High Noon, because it is really annoying for our opponent. Even though he has only 2 cards, see? They scoop to High Noon. Man, I cannot imagine. Like, they actually were on the play with this draw. Well, it is what it is, you know? I'll take my win for the High Noon. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed those games. And, you know, also the game where aggro opponent just forgot to use the best card printed for their matchup against control. I mean, no biggie. Why would you use cards if you win anyway, right? Listen, I need to roast aggro players. Like, this is a rule by now on the channel. And yeah, I find it hilarious, alright? It will stay here. So, High Noon. Definitely the card that I enjoyed the most here. Even though we have all those cool interactions, High Noon makes things like Aven Interrupter just devastating. Man, when they cast 1 spell and suddenly you got 1 extra card in the board and they had 0 cards, like, this is insane. Like, you can basically smell a scoop after this kind of play. So this High Noon makes Aven Interrupter so much better than normal. Maybe even can make a deck about it. And yeah, Stoic Sphinx is absolutely amazing on top of this. Like, when you cast this so early, 4 mana is not a lot. This is a very quick spell, honestly. Especially on top of Interrupter, so you slow your opponent down, you have High Noon in the board, and suddenly when they cast the next spell and think, well, finally I will resolve something. Sure, they attack with haste creature, they cannot pump it because High Noon is on the battlefield, then you cast Sphinx and you know that you got a free removal. And at this point they are so incredibly behind that it's just not even funny. And if you have Interrupter and Sphinx on curve, this is what? 7 damage a turn? That's 3 turn lethal, especially things like Intimidation Campaign, Kaito, and we didn't talk about it in the intro, but you have the Whale, and when you go with curve of Interrupter, Sphinx, then go Whale when they cannot even deal with Sphinx most of the time, suddenly they have 2 different creatures, and I'll tell you, they probably have the answer to Whale, but it will cost them 4 mana at least, maybe even more, and that will be their whole turn, and then they will die to Sphinx, especially that you can drain them for this last 3 to 5 damage with campaigns, so they actually need to go a little bit higher, and they probably cannot. So before we delve more into this deck, because I'm actually kinda excited and I have few remarks after playing with this build, I want to say a huge thank you to our, of course, Amazing Patreon supporters, thank you guys for keeping control alive on the ladder with our support on the channel, and I hope you are enjoying the content. Thank you for just being nice. So honestly, with this intimidation campaign, this was, I kid you not, this was literally the last card I added to this deck. That was the deck, and then I thought, I need like 3 more cards. Oh, that's perfect. And when I added this made the perfect sense, because when you actually realize that High Noon, especially if you draw duplicates, it's not too much value, right? You probably need 1 and that's it, and it never gives you the card back unless you go for red mana, pay 7 mana. So it's not the good part. With Aven Interrupter, even though you get insane tempo advantage, it still is basically a card that is 3 mana to 2. It doesn't do anything else when they pay all the mana that you skipped basically, and they spend the extra turn. But in card value, it's just 3 mana to 2. So with Intimidation Campaign, suddenly you can translate time to value. So the more time you have with Aven Interrupters, you can use this time to draw cards, and suddenly things like this become extra time. So not only we can drain, not only we can use Kaito to target something like a creature, it's a crime, so that means you get free Intimidation Campaign. We have enough removal to just make everything work, so we can always get those back into the hand. And yeah, I honestly love the interactions in this deck, and Stoic Sphinx was the superstar, honestly, of this one. So yeah, I really like this deck, and there's something I need to mention, because even though I don't think you have seen so much of this in the video, I really noticed that you have some mana issues with this deck. Sometimes you don't hit the color, sometimes you are left with only Painlands, and I guess we could go lower on the Painlands, but at the same time we really want to play High Noon on turn 2, and Aven Interrupter on turn 3. You can skip Sphinx a little bit because you can supplement your plays with like 2 mana spells, some counter spells, this kind of stuff. But generally turn 2 and 3 are super important, and you don't want to miss them. You can miss turn 1 with one of the tap lands. That's the idea. So honestly, I realized that sometimes it costs me so much life to play those Painlands, and sometimes we lack one color. Usually it's like white or black, something like this. Like, we have quite steep costs. This is double blue, this is double white on turn 3, and we also need black on early game. So without Raffine Tower, you can kind of feel the difference. Generally, I managed to always find a way around it, but it was felt that it's 3-color deck. And yeah, I mean, maybe my games were a bit unlucky, so hard to say, but I've noticed difference between this and Dimir or Azorius, and I think it makes sense, right? We don't have triumphs right now, so it should be felt. I still went with Sunken Citadel, because I think the fact that you can name the color is so useful. Like, Anchorages are great, and reefs, they give 2 colors, but what if you just lack the third one? So Citadel kinda helps with this while also powering all the creatures. That's also the reason we went with Reef, because we have a lot of creatures that deal damage, but we don't have Jace or anything like it. So Reef, I think, supplements it perfectly, and it can use the Sunken Citadel mana the most, right? Because for Anchorage, like, you cannot use 2 because it's odd mana cost, so 3 mana that you need to pay. But with Reef, you can basically use 2 Citadels, and suddenly your Reef is basically free. So that's a really cool interaction. Kaito absolutely performed in this deck, and it's one of the huge, cool parts about the deck. And I think we really showcase how powerful the drone can be. And this wording, when this creature leaves the battlefield, makes all the difference. It doesn't have to die. This is usually, I believe, just the premium keyword that triggers more often than just dying, because exile doesn't remove it. So you always get the value, and you can get rid of the token and translate it to card while also life gaining, which made the difference in our games today. So guys, that was a long outro, but I think there's a lot to say. I really enjoyed the deck. I think we ranked up with this one. I actually didn't have stats for this one, but it feels like we won most of the games. So yeah, I hope it will be the same for you. Thank you guys for watching, and see you tomorrow.